Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Have you ever said to yourself, I am a sugar addict, or I just can't control my cravings, or I'm just not motivated, or this is too hard. Maybe it's just not meant to be. All of those statements are signs of a fixed mindset. So I just finished reading a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck, and it talks precisely about this: the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And those statements that I gave you. I'm a sugar addict. I'm not motivated. I just don't know what to do. I can't do this. It's too hard. Or every time I try, something happens. It's not in my hand. That's a fixed mindset. All right. A growth mindset would be what actually propels you forward. So, in the fixed mindset, failure equals defeat. And in the growth mindset, failure is just a prerequisite of growth, right? Something that you actually seek because you know that failure is what shows you that you are growing. So, the book gives some really solid steps on how to recognize yours and how to address it. So that's what I want to share with you. So this is super interesting. So it talks about how every single one of us have both mindsets, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. The fixed mindset comes up when we're trying to reach for the next level, when we're trying to attain some goals that are beyond our comfort zone. Okay, so that's when you'll notice it. That's when it comes up, and it talks about how they did this study where all of the participants named their fixed mindset persona, and the triggers would be different for each person, right? But by naming it, it's almost like you could detach yourself from that fixed mindset and talk to it, have a conversation, and actually help it move over to the growth mindset. So I'm going to share with you mine and what triggers mine, and then I'm going to share with you some steps to identify yours and to bring it over to the other side. So okay, so for mine, so his name is Jesse. Okay, and I'll tell you why Jesse in a minute. But the trigger is criticism. All right, which again, it doesn't pop up often because I'll just put it bluntly, I am very good at what I do. So criticism doesn't really often come from sources that would be well enough educated to point out a different, better route. All right. And I know exactly what that sounds like. I'm just giving it to you straight. Now, what happens is sometimes when I'm getting the criticism from someone that I know has no clue what we're talking about, I can default into just being like, you know what? How about this? Just trust me. Don't worry about it. I got it. If it fails, it's on me, right? So there. How about you? Don't worry, because you can pin it all on me. Sounds good? So that's my Jesse. And why Jesse? Because, oh man, years ago, this is before I started Driven. This is like 10 years ago. I was working in the oil rigs, and there was a guy there. His name was Jesse. He was extremely out of shape, extremely ignorant, super hard-headed, and he was always trying to show people what to do, and he would always fail. He literally was giving us crap for not doing something right, and he'd come over and he'd be like, I gotta show you because you're all dumbasses, because that's how they talk to everybody in the oil rigs, right? And he goes to try to show us how to use this tool. He literally falls flat on his face. He gets up, he's all mad. He tries to do it again, and he falls again flat on his face again. Just one of those guys, right? And And so that's the exact opposite of who I want to be. But I've identified that's that's what I named him, Jesse, because I don't want that. I don't want that to be me. Okay, so every one of us has a fixed mindset, and so it would be your job to identify what triggers yours. Figuring out what triggers mine is something that took me a few minutes to like sit down, pen and paper, and do some thinking. But so again, remember, this will only come up when you are leaving your comfort zone. Okay, so and here's what you do. So step one is identifying the triggers that bring you back into a fixed mindset. Step number two is to name it, right? Name it so that you can detach from it and so that you can have a conversation. And then step three is to literally bring this persona along for the ride as you pursue those goals that are going to push you out of your comfort zone. Does that make sense? So step number one, accept that we all have both mindsets. So if you think, I don't have that, I only have growth mindset, you probably just need to do a little deeper digging, or you're probably not trying to step out of your comfort zone. You are very comfortable where you are, and usually that comes from ignoring some of the difficulties that we're facing in life because we choose to sit in that comfort zone. But regardless, so step number one is accept that we all have both. Step number two is recognize the triggers. It can be failure, it can be criticism, it can be disagreement, it can be deadlines, anything that puts stress on you. Okay, that can be the trigger. Number three is create this persona, name it. I named mine Jesse. You can name yours Gertrude or Karen or whatever you want. Figure out what his or her name is. What are the triggers? What did they make you do? How did those, when that person shows up, when that persona shows up, how do you behave? Right? Identify that, and then identify how that affects you, how that affects your actions, and how that affects everybody around you, whether it's your family, your staff, your co-workers, whatever. All right. And then step number four is to educate that fixed mindset persona. So, imagine that you're going to attempt, you're going to start pursuing a goal. Maybe it's losing weight, maybe whatever, maybe it's a better job, whatever it is. Maybe it's a relationship, right? Whatever it is, literally. And your fixed mindset comes up and says, you shouldn't try that. Remember how you failed back in the past? Yep. I don't think this is meant for you. So why don't you just stay nice and cozy right here, and that's it. Don't be the laughing stock of the town or whatever. So then what you would need to do to bring that persona along is, again, basically have that conversation. And you would say something like, I know this might not work, but I still want to try. Okay. I know this may hurt. I know I may put in a lot of effort and it may not work out the way I thought it would. I know that's a possibility. I still really want to try. Okay. So again, that's the power of disassociating yourself from the fixed mindset persona, right? And then you literally invite that persona, your Jesse or your Karen or whatever, to come along the ride with you. And again, this is not something that you get to a point where, great, from here on, it's all growth mindset. For as long as you keep setting goals and those goals stretch you, that fixed mindset will pop up, and maybe will even get louder as your goals get higher and higher. So anyways, I hope that is useful for you. If you can think of something, if you can identify what your fixed mindset is, maybe share in a comment what is something that triggers yours. If you say, hey, I don't think I have a fixed mindset in any area of my life. Maybe share that too. And yeah, and if you're going to name yours, share in a comment what's going to be his or her name, and what is it that it's trying to prevent you from attempting. I think these are great conversations. That's basically the main lessons from that book. It's an amazing book. I'll show you the cover. Great book. How we can learn to fulfill our potential. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to share this with you. There we go. I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday. Crush it at work. Stay driven, my friends. I love your faces, and I'll see you soon.